guys, so today we're going to be looking at word problems with adding and subtracting fractions. So first I want to go over some keywords to look for in word problems to know if you're going to add or subtract. There are going to be word problems where you add and subtract. So words that tell you you're going to subtract and words that tell you you're going to add. So let's start with subtract. So this gets people a lot. How many more is subtract have left? Left over, difference, and then you can have like, instead of how many more, how much more. So these are words for subtracting. So you need to look for these words in a word problem to know if you're going to subtract or add. So some words for add would be total, sum, altogether, and all. So these words would tell you if you're going to add. All right, so we're going to look at this first problem, and this is on your worksheet for today. So Patrick and Miguel, let me zoom in a little bit. Patrick and Miguel go for a walk each day after school. They walk 6/12 of a mile, stop to skip rocks in a creek, and then walk another 3/4 of a mile. How far do the boys walk each day? So here we're trying to find the total distance they walk each day. So what we need to do is add 6/12 and 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to list my multiples for 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, and I'll list my multiples for 12. The lowest number they have in common is 12. So 12 is going to be my LCD. So I know that both denominators need to have 12 on the bottom. This one already has, this one right here already has 12 on the bottom, so really you're just multiplying the top and bottom by 1. So that one stays the same. This one, you have to look at 4. 4 times what gives you 12? 4 times 3 would give you 12. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 6/12 plus 9/12. 6 plus 9 is 15. So we have 15/12. This is an improper fraction, so we need to convert it to a mixed number. We need to ask ourselves, how many times will 12 go into 15? 12 will go into 15 once, so that becomes my whole number. How many is left over after 12 goes into 15? 12, 13, 14, 15. So 3 is left over out of 12. So this is also a fraction, 3/12, that can be simplified. So you need to ask yourself, what can 3 and 12 both be divided by? 3 and 12 can both be divided by 3. So you divide the top and bottom by 3. That gives you 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 1 1/4 would be your answer for the first one. So they walk 1 1/4 of a mile. They were 1 1/4 mile every day. So that's what we found was the total. All right, we're also going to look at the second one together. We're just going to set it up. So Mrs. Walters purchased a gallon of paint. She plans to use 1/2 of the gallon on a project and 2/8 of the gallon on another project. How much paint would Miss Walters have left after completing the 2 projects? So first we need to figure out how much paint she used on both projects. We need to find the sum there. So we need to add those 2. And then we need to figure out how much she had left. So at first, she started off with 1 gallon. So we need to find the total of these and subtract it from 1 gallon. So we have 1/2 plus 2/8. Gonna list my multiples for 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. List the multiples for 8. 8, 16. So my lowest number they have in common is 8. So the 8 becomes my LCD, least common denominator. So I know that both denominators are going to have to be 8. So 2 times what gives me 8? 2 times 4. So also multiply the numerator by 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Perfect. 8 times 1 gives me 8, so I'll also multiply the top by 1, and that fraction just stays the same as 2 eighths. Now I can add them. 4 eighths plus 2 eighths gives me 6 eighths. So before I simplify this, I want to subtract it from 1 gallon. So this is something we haven't really practiced. We have 1 gallon minus 6 eighths. So we want this whole number 1 to have the same denominator as this 6 eighths. So all you need to do is change that 1 to have a denominator of 8. What over 8 equals 1? 8 over 8. So 8 over 8 is the same as 1. So 8 over 8 minus 6 eighths would give me 2 eighths. So we subtracted 6 eighths from 1. 8 over 8 is the same as 1. We just changed it to have a denominator of 8. So 2 eighths is my answer, but this can be simplified. What can they both be divided by? 2. Two divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So she will have 1/4 gallon of egg left. Well, I told you I was just going to set that up for you, but I just solved the whole thing. Okay, so when you go through these other problems, I want you to circle your fractions, so circle the numbers, and I want you to underline keywords that tell you if you're going to add or subtract. And remember, you might have to do both like we just did on that one problem. All right, thank you guys.